put him out. So then he was living in his car. So he don't call me. Who he gonna call? Call his mama. Call his mama, mama, I'm living in the car. So she called me, she said, our son is living in the car. And he wanna come back home. I said, don't let him back home. She said, what are you gonna do about it? I said, what street is he on? I want you to take him a blanket. She's talking about, this is not right. I said, look here, this is how we're gonna do this. If you let him in, you're gonna be letting him in for the rest of your life. You leave that joker out there, he will land on his feet. She's talking about, I can't believe that we got the, So then he went to his church. And I don't know what type of story he told the church, but he started renting a room in a church member's house in the attic. So he was living in the attic. You know, my son that y'all saw, that big 6'4", good-looking young man that was here earlier was living in the attic, right? So he got tired of being around me because I was like, why he'll never come around? So I called his mama. His mama said, he don't like to be around you because every time he around you, you embarrass him. I said, I embarrass him. All I said was, like if I was to introduce him to you, I would say, hey, this is my son. He live in the attic. What's wrong with that? He is my son, and he living in the attic. So people go, you wrong for putting his business out there in the street. I said, no, he wrong for making people think he ain't got no parents that love him. I got 6 bedrooms, and mama got 4. That's 10 bedrooms between 2 parents. He don't need to be living in the attic. I work too hard for my child to be living in the attic. But that's his choice. So when I introduced him, I said, there's my son, he lived in the attic. And eventually he got put out the attic. You know you got to be trifling, you get put out the attic. That's the least used room in the house. They finally took back the rent money, refunded him, and put him out the attic, right? So finally, after he was put out the attic, he realized there was no place for him to go. So he went out there and got a job, you know, and then they got a roommate, they got an apartment, he bought a new car, and he got a good job. He's been there 2 years. See, the moral of the story is a mother sometimes has to put them trifling jokers out for them to land on their feet. If you don't put them out, you would be like the scene in the movie Jungle Fever. You know the scene I'm talking about, where Samuel L. Jackson was the crackhead. You see the scene. He about 35 years old, and he go to his mother and say, he gonna get a job, but he need $100 for the application. And then his daddy come home and see the trifling joke and say, get out of my house. And the mama said, why my baby gotta get out? And they go through this whole dialogue, and so the father puts the crackhead out because he know he ain't trying to be nothing. And then the mama said, meet me around the back, and gave him the money. You understand? So, and I was just trying to share that with y'all because some of y'all got some, maybe not your kids, but you got some neighbors' kids, and you might need to go home and tell them to buy the tape and take it home, and then put it to their favorite part. Look at that right here. Look what that man said right there. What them jokers.